I did not expect this.
Wow. What's up, everybody? We're stoked. It is 2025. And if you are not a longtime listener, you don't know that every year, like, we come up with a different intro song, and that's it. So if you're confused, it is Staggered Stance. I'm here with Ben and Josh, and Nick,
Hello.
per usual, has something. And tonight, I think his electricity's out or something. They had a storm come through down in Florida, so
I hope he'll join, though.
He should be able to join with his new green screen and all. Maybe we could just put him like as a weatherman, like just storming behind him.
So last week, I'm not going to talk at length about this, but I was pretty sick, and my whole family ended up being sick. I'm still recovering, although I'm good enough to be here. The flu and a bunch of other junk. But we turned the show on for a bit, and my wife's like, "Is Nick with Matt?"
Look good.
Yeah.
That being said,
I was like, but the background looks exactly the same.
Exactly. I know. I got to mirror it. So we've been doing upgrades, and that brings me to the point. We have the presenting sponsor of Staggered Stance. This is kind of a first for us.
Love it.
At least to use the wording this way. Presented by TitanDiscGolf.com. TitanDiscGolf.com. If you're a viewer, you're seeing right now the lower third showing all the goodness that TitanDiscGolf.com brings. We are so excited. Look at the hat Ben's got. Look at the hat I've got on. Josh, you were sick with the plague, so we left you alone. I didn't even ship it up there. We'll get this hat to you soon. But I'm trying to think here. So make connections for people. So, hey guys, Matt here. Matt Schlabach. He runs Titan Disc Golf Des Moines. And there's two branches of that, if you will. I guess, are they like franchises? I'll have to ask him. Or you can just text me live if he's watching now. But he has Titan Disc Golf Des Moines. But I think between both the stores, they have what's TitanDiscGolf.com. Now, if you're a startup business, if you're a strong business like they have there in Des Moines, people shop in person a lot. We're here to tell you, it is not just for the locals. TitanDiscGolf.com is for everybody. So, some of the things to point out about TitanDiscGolf.com, they have an underrated disc selection. And when I say that, you ready for this number? You might think, oh, local pro shop, they got a handful of discs. Here's the number. 35,000 discs online. If I'm not mistaken, that's their online inventory. Like, I don't think those discs are in store. I said, well, let me try a disc for you. Let me say, because Tanner, Team Innova, he gets all his discs, but every now and then he likes to shop another store as opposed to his allotment. And he's like, do you got any star animals? That's tough to find. I mean, if you're lucky, I said, hey, let me try to stump you. TitanDiscGolf.com, star animals in stock. So try it out.
Wow.
Find the disc that you like. They have competitive pricing, fast shipping. If you spend easily $75 on a disc golf order, free shipping. Ben, pull out your new phone. What kind of phone did you get recently? You said new phone.
Well, sort of new.
Okay,
but old.
Ben, no, I thought it was new.
No, well, it's new because I got a new phone because my other one broke, but it's the same phone because I had insurance on it. So it's a Google Pixel 7 Pro.
Okay, Google Pixel. Type in TitanDiscGolf.com. Tell me if that browser interface is clean for mobile. Because not every website you go to is, and it can be a real pain in the butt.
Wait, how do you spell Titan? Oh, wait, I just got to look at my hat.
Yeah, just... What's the web address? Just look at your hat. TitanDiscGolf.com.
Look at the screen. Look at your hat.
Browse the shelf. It's like I'm in store. It's like I'm feeling the discs right in front of me.
It works. So, shout out to our friends over at First Available Apparel. They printed these out for us. TitanDiscGolf.com, everybody. Here's another cool thing about it. They're easy to use interface that Ben's using right now. Picture of every disc, so the one you see is what you get. I know that's important with disc golf.
They got prototype Kongs.
And I was just going to say, besides carrying all the main manufacturers, they have special drops. They have exclusive only available to Titan. They have exclusive stamps. And if you sign up for the newsletter, which we totally recommend you do, you're going to get notifications when the new inventory is uploaded, so you can be the first to get there. So we're really excited to have TitanDiscGolf.com be the presenting sponsor of Staggered Stance. You're going to see it. You're going to hear about it. We're not sorry, because we want you to go shop over there. And you can say, well, you know what? They're just paying you to say that. Well, you're not wrong. We have a good partnership going on here. But we are going to throw something in the ring here. They have a code, Staggered Stance. It's pretty hard. I mean, staggered is kind of like hard anyways, but Staggered Stance is the code. 10% off your order for January through February right now. Right before the show, I punched in, I said, let's make sure this coupon code's working. And all I had to do was type in Staggered Stance, Ben. Guess how much came off my order for one disc?
18%.
$2.60, just because I typed in Staggered Stance. Like, come on. We just gave you free money. So go over there and order something. Staggered Stance.
Here's the thing. I just noticed at scrolling through, he has a lot of things that are like 8%, 5% off. Does that combine with Staggered Stance? Because that'd be cool.
Try it.
All right, I'll try right now. I'll confirm with the audience.
But here's what I want to say. We're going to throw, I said we'll throw something in the ring. Every time you order with the code Staggered Stance, which, by the way, bring the armies of Staggered Stance listeners, as Ben would say, staggies.
The staggies.
Please show the support for people who sponsor your favorite podcast, Staggered Stance. Go place an order and use Staggered Stance as your code. Here's why. Because they're awesome. You're going to get the products you want. But also, every time you do that, that's a raffle ticket for you to win a prize from Staggered Stance. And I can tell you right now, without much thought, Ben's throwing in a disc. I'm throwing in a disc. Josh is throwing in a disc. Nick is throwing in a disc. Okay. Okay. Don't tell everybody. It's a hat.
If they have... No, but I'm saying, if they have an item that's 10% off,
they get additional.
That you can do staggered, and baby. It's now 20% off.
Come on. No.
Boom, baby.
Anyways.
Stacking discounts.
So at the end of February, when this code runs out, we'll take all the raffle entries. If you bought 5 different orders, then you get 5 different raffle entries. And we're going to draw a random person to win the prize we're giving away. Definitely check it out if you haven't. We'd love to see the, what is it called? The S search optimization.
SEO.
Thank you. I was having a brain freeze. We want to see his numbers go up, even if it's just for now or the next day, spike, just to show people, come on, TitanDiscGolf.com. So we appreciate it. You'll see that on screen the whole show. We're excited to have Titan Disc Golf.
Let's go. Hey, guys.
Be the presenting sponsor, Staggered Stance.
Ooh.
So I just talked for a while there. Next time I'm giving that over to Josh when he's feeling better, and then we'll all conversate. Oh, man. The news in disc golf. What are you hearing out there? Ben, what are you hearing out there? Because you're in a different group of hearing.
I hear too much, safe to say. For some reason, I hear a lot of things. I don't know why. I don't ask for it. I just think people in the industry just like to talk about what's going on.
So without pressuring you, which we can, I'm not above doing, but without pressuring you, are you hearing, like you just used the word, what word did you use? Anyway, in the industry, are you hearing, like, are players straight up text messaging you? Are these like contacts because of the expo and you're on a phone call with them? Are you getting Instagram DMs? Like, just tell me like how you're getting stuff.
Mostly over phone calls, oddly enough.
All right.
I don't know why.
Oh, by the way, have you heard also?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Where we're just talking. Yeah, I don't think anyone's gone out of their way to give me information. It's just like when we're talking, and
phone calls are harder to track too unless you're recording them. So
yeah, that's probably why.
Screenshots.
That's probably why they don't want to get known.
The new iPhone updates allow you to record your
does.
phone calls, and when you accidentally hit it, everyone goes, why are you recording this phone call? And I'm like, there's an accident, didn't
You're
mean
the
to.
FBI. Open up.
It's like, your phone call is now being recorded.
That's funny.
Oh, fun fact, you get a telemarketer, my favorite thing to do now is hit the phone call record button. So they're like, hello, and you're like, hi, and then you hit that button. It's like, your phone call is being recorded. Like, and they're like, what? And then I hit it again, like, now it's not being recorded. And they're like, what's going on? I'm like, it's being recorded. It's really funny. I'm sorry if you're in telemarketing, but to me, it's pretty funny. And then they end up being like, yeah, we're out. So there you go.
Hey, what else I'm hearing, just for what it's worth, not calling this small talk, but depending where you are in the country, I mean, we're in the Northeast, so this is usually us, but I think people have been hammered by a snowstorm. So obviously we've got
Isn't that
people listening
weird?
from the South, but like
We
all
haven't,
down
yeah.
the middle of the country, but we've got like hardcore disc golfers who maybe are home tonight listening to us because they can't be out and about doing normal Monday evening activities. So hopefully everybody's, it depends on your perspective. I'm going to say are having fun with that, but I know it can create a lot of headaches and hassles, and especially if you're in a state that's not used to getting hammered. We're still like avoiding, I mean, it's only early January, but like we're avoiding anything significant in the Northeast. We'll see.
We need to avoid it January 25th and 26th. That's all I know. It could snow every day.
It
Up
snowed
until
last
then.
year at the expo. That was a
Yeah,
lot of
but
fun.
Sunday, which is fine. Well, it's not fine, but it's the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
Yes, it's all one word, Staggered Stance for Titan Disc Golf. But yeah, lesser of two evils. If it snows on Saturday, then that will be sad. But it's still okay. Only if it snows only on one of the days. Like at least if there's one day of freedom.
I remember we talked about this last year. You're like, this could all be for nothing.
Dude,
Okay.
I still feel it.
I
still
saw you
feel it.
post this literally 2 hours ago. This year's expo lineup, as in like you were talking players who are going to come and be
Yes.
there. You said it's absolutely bonkers, and we still have yet to announce some of our biggest names. Now, the funny thing to me is, I know what you mean, but you just announced the player of the year, the number one greatest player of last year, and who knows for how long. And you're like, we haven't even announced some of our greatest, biggest. And I'm thinking, that's pretty big. But
Yeah.
I'm going to guess you got some others that you haven't announced yet that are going to be pretty
I
exciting.
have some others that we haven't announced yet.
Okay.
But yeah, match for Ganon Burr will be at Disc East. So go buy your tickets if you want to meet Ganon, Simon, Casey White, James Proctor, and the other special guests.
Josh Graham.
Oh yeah. These guys will be there. I forgot.
Ben, you need to set up. You know how you had like the what was it? The player experience where you were in that room, you could play Simon's guitar and like that kind of thing.
Yes.
You need to set up the James Proctor putt, like the MVP, like set up 2 like poles or something. And be like, this is the distance. Like if you want to do the James Proctor experience kind of thing, can you do James Proctor? You know what I mean?
Oh, that's actually a good
Bro,
idea, man.
I'm here
I
for
feel like
you.
I have extra room that I'm not utilizing.
I'm here for you, bro.
So that's actually hilarious.
Like
That's
there's
actually...
trees in that fountain room. If you're back there, like you could set up the actual James Conrad putt probably.
Well,
Proctor.
let's just
Oh, yeah,
say
sorry.
that fountain room might have a little something new this year.
Oh, baby. Okay. So we talked a lot about the expo. You got this one, and then you're following it up down in the South in Texas. That's pretty
Yes.
cool. We have our
Just
guest
South.
tonight lined up is none other than Player of the Year, PDGA Player of the Year, Disc Golf Pro Tour Player of the Year, Ganon Burr. He will be on the show. And we have this
What?
Surprise. Our most frequent guest of 2024 is our first guest of 2025.
He loves joining.
I mean, and like he's earned it. We haven't talked to him. Ask him what his New Year's resolutions are in 2025. Like, where do you go when you're trying to make, new resolutions after a year like he had last year? Like, what do you do?
So
He told me he's going for 10 wins, or he told either an interview. I just heard it. He's going for 10 wins.
I mean,
in the
it'd
chat,
be weird if he said he was going for 5. So.
at least one is what he should say. In the chat, Dachshund, longtime listener, said we just saved him $5 over at TitanDiscGolf.com. So, bang.
Nice. And that
First
means he's in
order.
the raffle
I know.
to have us send him.
Is he alone? Does he
some
just win?
discs from us?
Hopefully,
Should I give him? Should this be in the raffle? The hot chip disc?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good one for the show. So cool.
I've got a bunch of probably really nice discs that have been sealed up for years in new condition sitting in a box in my basement. So maybe we open that up and pick something cool.
Something moldy.
No, it won't be moldy. It's like it's nice and sealed. I mean, it is a disc golf mold, but anyway.
I don't know what I should throw in. Firebirds. I don't know.
I've got old school Vibram stuff in there.
So
probably some OG Discmania stuff sitting in there.
I've been out to Titan Disc Golf Des Moines in person, and that's a fantastic shop as well. And obviously there's a connection there, but we're really pushing TitanDiscGolf.com. I'm going to get this hat over to Matt. Hopefully his caddy duties for Ganon this coming year. You'll see this hat maybe. Who knows? Maybe he'll push this hat out there for himself. Maybe that's weird. I don't know. I think it's cool. All right, so other things, rumors flying, and we see other podcasts talking about it. Josh, what are your initial thoughts on House of Discs? The news that's just kind of rumor. Is rumoring a thing? Rumoring. Rumoring around. Josh, what are you just general thoughts on that? Because, like, is it a thing? Is it not a thing? What's your take?
Well, to set the context, first of all, sometimes it's hard to keep track. The internet's a big place, and that's where most of this conversation's happening. And put it in the context of we've been talking about for months, right? The downward pressures in the market impacting so many things. We've talked about what's the sponsorship landscape gonna look like. So I'm just putting that in the broader context because this is part of my opinion. I'm kind of setting the stage. But I think most recently what you're probably referring to is, was it the director of operations who I think back in October was let go from Dynamic Discs, which is in the House of Discs conglomerate. And he chose to go on Reddit for an Ask Me Anything. Was it just like 2 days ago, maybe? A day ago? 2 days ago. And basically just saying, hey, I'm an open book. They laid me off in October. What do you all want to know? We can talk about that to some extent. There was actually a lot of conversation in that Reddit thread. One of the pieces, which is I think what you teed up, is like, hey, is there a risk of bankruptcy for House of Discs? And from my opinion, looking at what was actually shared and discussed, we have no indication that that's the case. Now, the general market, this is what I was saying, is like, would I be surprised if I'm hearing any company is facing serious pressures where they're making actual financial decisions, which was mentioned in this thread, right? Like, how do we pay bills even, right? Making decisions, clearly resulting in layoffs and reduction in force. And so, I mean, I think it's obvious there's a lot of real pressure. So I'm not saying it's not possible. I just don't think we have any extra information that suggests it's actually more likely or not. In fact, if you were to paint up a scenario and say, hey, with downward pressure in a market for a big company who bought at the top for sponsorships, if you actually look at the sponsorship landscape, in my opinion, like Dynamic Disc is one of the companies who maybe like overbought. I'm not sure, right? I guess that's an opinion. When you see, it's hard to say that's true for Ricky, but Kona with one of the groundbreaking contracts. We don't know the details of those, but again, that ex-employee suggested that, right, it probably has not paid off. So I'm just saying, if you painted a scenario and laid all that out, would I be surprised that you have a business taking drastic steps? No, I wouldn't be. What's really too hard, and I'll toss it back to you if you even want to react, is what you can't tell is this a business who maybe made some bad past decisions or are just simply hit by the market and bad timing? Are they actually making the right decisions now, right? And that it looks really rough on the outside, but they're actually trimming all the things that need to be trimmed to get back to a healthy company? Or is this like, they're flailing in the deep end and we're seeing all that like splashing and it's just a matter of time? And what I'm saying is you can't tell which this is right now. You can't tell if they're going to get back to healthy and weather a bad storm. I just don't think we have enough information. No. But yeah, it creates a lot of fodder and discussion. And regardless of which side of that equation it's on, it is telling us something. But I might have predicted this 3 months ago. We've been talking about how bad the market is. So to me, it is a news story. It's worthy of talking about, but it's also not a shocker. Like, I'm not like, oh my goodness. Like, there's a lot of pressure. Of course there is.
I can weigh in on this. So we see companies all the time go through layoffs that I think it's just a part of growing, where you spend a lot of money and then to accommodate for the boom or the hype or whatever, and then revenue's tight. I mean, look at Tesla. I'm pretty sure they had to lay off a lot of people recently, and then finally they started growing revenue again and their stock went up, and now it's actually not doing as well. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is it's just part of the company. I think what probably happened is, yes, I think Dynamic Discs in the House of Discs overproduced or overdid themselves and went all in on disc golf, and then things started to taper off, and then you just have to start cutting expenses where you can, where it makes sense. It's just a part of growth. It's just a part of every company. Unfortunately, it happened to that guy, and at the end of the day, it's a business decision. And that's one of the reasons I absolutely hate being in business, because I just hate like how cutthroat it is. It's just like literally the worst thing that to be a business owner, just having to make those decisions. So like, I can't even imagine if you're managing multi-millions of dollars, like, how cutthroat even that is.
And then Josh, I mentioned to you right before the show, I was like, and I haven't thought a lot about this, but I started thinking, I'm like, Ganon's with Discmania. Kristen Lott is Kristen Lott is with Latitude. Ricky's with DD.
Kristen Latitude.
Yeah, Latitude. That's pretty
I
funny.
never thought about that.
Me neither, till right this moment. But I guess what I'm saying is they got big names, and I feel like the businesses would probably keep them out of the loop on that, like if they weren't doing well. But they would let a lot of other stuff go besides the players who are repping them at such a big stage too. So I think, and to your point, Josh, I don't know if you want to elaborate on this at all. We got Ganon in the green room, but is to say that like before they would probably close shop, like House of Disc, maybe they would fall under each other. You're saying like kind of consolidate. Like maybe it would be like, no, we're just going forward with Discmania. Like before they just were gone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying there's no indication other than a few people speculating based on a question in a comment thread that there's actually any like classic bankruptcy discussion. What I'm saying is you have so many levers as a company. And what I'm saying is like all those levers are available, right, to management. Like they have decisions to make, and we get to discuss them, right? Like, so it's great. Like we get to talk about what's the impact on the sponsorship market. We'll talk more about sponsorship, I think, later in the show, but they just signed someone. Literally, I think now it's today, right? Parker Welk, Dynamic Discs.
DD. And everyone's like, what?
I don't know why I didn't see that till the chat said it.
Yeah. Yep. So like, I mean, my point is you can put everything as a piece of the puzzle and try to interpret from the outside what's happening. We don't have tons of inside information on these companies. It's clear that there's a lot of pressure. That's not a surprise.
What if we just reach out, be like, UC, are you going bankrupt? Like,
yeah,
or like whoever, like Jeremy Rusko. Like we've talked before. Well, you guys like that'd be a funny conversation.
Well, we could get like Seth Finley on because what we actually have is.
Let me text Seth.
And so. Here's a little bit of this is all already out there, not my. This isn't my commentary per se, but I do think some of the big outside management that was brought into House of Discs, it was weird timing, probably a weird perspective, and that to me, I feel like I'm comfortable enough interpreting based on the actions we've seen, where they've kind of moved out that management and kind of broke up Europe versus US and kind of with a new focus to really refresh, right? And they even had that announcement around kind of the CEO changes, I don't know, a month or two ago. So I think there is some recalibration. That's what I'm saying. I think there's a lot of real pressure there. I'm not saying there's not. I'm just saying like sometimes when you got to make, some hard decisions, if they're done right, you end up with a better outcome. And we can all point fingers and maybe laugh in the meantime if we want. But, I don't think we have enough indication to know that there's something more serious on the horizon. Although crazy things can happen.
I just text Seth. What is he like? United? Like
he's like the head guy now over House
Yeah.
of Discs US, like
Yeah,
the big
and
one.
I shouldn't.
Because you
Jesus.
said UC, but really Seth is
no, I
probably.
know. I shouldn't have, but I texted Seth. I said, "Are you enjoying all the bankruptcy talk?" I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
sure.
know if he'll respond.
It's pretty raw right now because like
I know. I don't know if he'll respond.
that's the world he's
That
living
might have been. Me and Seth go back a ways though. So to be fair, I'm literally not just cold calling him. Like,
Yeah, I was like,
we have a friend. We have a friend. No, we have a friendship. So I'm assuming he'll just return some emoji or nothing, being like, "Yeah, we're not talking about that." But okay, let's bring in Ganon. I think we're ready to do that. Looks like he's been ready for a little bit, so let's bring him in. I gotta hit unmute per usual. I think I did. Well, old school Ganon.
Statmando.
Yeah. What's up, dude?
What up?
Oh, we have you on as our first guest of 2025, and Josh recapped the show before we started. Maybe the most frequent guest of 2024. So we're starting out strong, Ganon.
All right, well, we already got the counter to 1, so that's good.
Well, and to be honest, if you didn't win so much, we probably wouldn't have you on so much. So it's your own fault, bro.
I bet.
yeah, and
Well, yeah, because how many wins did you have last year? I mean, I know
I had
9.
7 Elite Series.
Joe.
I had 2 majors, and I had 2 A tiers.
right.
Oh,
we
I
had
didn't
you
count
on.
the 8 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
You had 9? I thought you had 8.
9.
I'm the real fan, Ben. I'm the real fan. I got it right.
And I believe you were
Point
on
for
our
me.
show eight times last year. So
8
there
times.
you go.
Oh, was it
And
slacking the other?
We now have something in common with Ganon. Finally,
Oh.
we're all sponsored by Titan Disc Golf, or at least the show.
Discgolf.com. TitanDiscGolf.com, everybody. That's right.
I love the hat. Yeah,
we think-
pick it up.
We think Matt might wear this during some of his caddy rounds. We're going to send him one, so we'll see. Is that cool
Nice.
with you, by the way, that he wears whatever he wants?
I don't care.
Yes.
As long as it's not like too stupid, then it's fine.
Not as I'm
Let's
with
play a
stupid
game.
arrow
Let's
at
play
Ganon.
a game. Let's play a game. What would be too stupid? Let me think. A brown banana on his hat, like an actual like overripe banana, just like sitting on the top of his hat.
Oh, an actual, like
Yeah.
not an image, like
No,
an
like an
physical
actual
banana.
brown overripe banana. Too much?
Yeah. That just seemed weird. I guess I was thinking more something like very unprofessional. I don't know.
That's pretty unprofessional.
What
He
if-
already wears
if he-
some unprofessional stuff, so it's fine.
What if he just had a plunger shirt on his shirt
A shirt?
that said
plunger.
course
If
clogger?
you know, you know. If you know, you
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
If you know, you know.
No, that's good. So yeah, we're really excited to have TitanDiscGolf.com sponsor the show, be the presenting sponsor. That's pretty big for us, and hopefully we can put a good light over there. So we brought you on PDGA Player of the Year, Disc Golf Pro Tour Player of the Year. I think it's going to be hard to do more than that next year, but do you think it's possible?
Yeah, I think so. You know, when I go into a tournament, there's usually it depends kind of how my game's feeling, but sometimes it's 1 to 3 players I'm worried about, and sometimes it's like 3 to 5 players I'm worried about. So, you know, like I said, it's usually about how my game's feeling. If my game's feeling good, I feel like I'm able to win the tournaments. Obviously, you know, it can be hit or miss, but last year I was really consistent. You know, where sometimes in 23 I would have really bad weekends and then really good weekends. So I think if I can just keep up my consistency, that's like my main goal. I only missed 1 top 10 last year. That was kind of disappointing. So that's definitely going to be a goal for this year, is to stay in the top 10 every event. But I think it's possible. I think I can get 10 wins.
10 wins. And Worlds being one of them. And
Yes, Worlds has to be one of them. I don't care if I win
Gotta
any
be.
tournaments as long as I just win Worlds.
or there's that. So 10 wins or 1 world. Win 1 world. Say that 3 times fast. 1 wins. World.
No.
Go ahead.
Dog just did a good comment. I predict that Ganon has no wins until February.
Okay.
Oh, burn.
Wait.
Well,
how's that,
even
how's
though
that possible?
chess
There's
is
no
March.
tournaments.
Yeah, chess is March. Well, I think the first day.
Memorial. That's what he means.
Oh, there you go.
You going back to Memorial, Fountain Hills, and all that?
Yeah. We fly out in like 10 days.
Nice.
Wait, that's before the expo?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Did
He's
not
getting
know
all
that. Wow,
cooped up there in Iowa.
You're traveling, man. You're a
Definitely
traveling
not.
man.
I've been everywhere. I just got back from Florida again, so you know, I want to sit still, but Ben keeps just nagging at me like, "Bro, come to the expo." Just every single day, 5 times a day. So I caved.
We finally got him, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
I love
Let's
how
go.
it says I caved. Oh man, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. Dude, this might be a weird question, but how many people reach out to you, whether it's DMs or private text messages or anything else, asking for inside scoop on your touring buddies? Like, anybody? Do you get that at all? Like, whether it's like fans or anybody? Like, hey, tell us, bro.
It's not often.
Okay.
Like barely happens. It has happened for sure, but it's not like a common occurrence or anything.
Yeah, I mean, we expect there to be news at some point here soon, you would imagine. Both, obviously, Ezra did. Isaac announced that he's not with Prodigy. And then we have Ken Climo news. That's pretty. Did you find that interesting at all? What's your take on that as a player of Innova for so long, being like, now I'm moving on?
Has it been announced where he's going?
No,
Not yet.
I don't know if
There's
you
a
know.
lot of-
We know.
there's a lot of
everything
public
points towards
speculation.
Discraft.
Yes,
So,
it's all pointing towards Discraft. I would say that. Yeah.
let's just say he goes to Discraft. I mean, I think it's a very cool way to, give him some credit for what he did in the sport, and I think it's great for Discraft and him because they're both going to most likely make money on the deal while bringing more stuff into disc golf. So I think overall, like, it's just good for whatever happens.
Do you think, as a player who is sponsored at a really high level, do you think there was an opportunity for Innova to have marketed him differently, like in these last years, like to do kind of what Discraft is, again, presumably going to do? My take is no, it couldn't have worked. It burned out. It was all used up.
Yeah, I think there's usually a couple of different ways to go about, careers. With Ricky, he switches sponsors pretty frequently whenever his deals end up. That's a good way to always keep your name in the buzz. But then you have Macbeth, who had a couple, obviously had his long deal with Innova, and then he goes just big career, crazy switch to Discraft. So there's a couple different ways to look at that.
Allegedly.
But yeah. Okay. Yeah. But whenever I look at disc golf, and if you're looking to grow your brand or grow anything, about your presence, making a switch is the best thing you can do, because after so long, the hype's gone and there's not much more you can do. So I think Innova, like, I don't think they did anything wrong specifically. I think, it was time. I think it's cool that Discraft is picking him. I mean, I don't know why I said that. I hope, or I think is what's going to happen. I'm not
I think
I don't know for sure, but I'm just stumbling on my words.
I think the whole disc golf world is probably feeling the same thing. Everybody's saying it. It's been, quote, leaked by Ultiworld.
There's nowhere else he can go, so I don't understand.
Ultiworld. So this has happened before when Simon had news and other, like Ultiworld will announce, like, per sources, here's what's happening. So then everybody talks as if it's happening, including us.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's happening. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think it's happening.
But I mean, heck, I might buy Ken Climo disc if he's at Discraft. Like, I don't care where he goes. Like, I think that'd be cool just to have a piece of history like that.
I agree. So I appreciate that input.
Hey, I'm curious, Ganon. Obviously, you're in a different situation, but we're hearing a lot of pressures in the sponsorship market, kind of down market. What I mean by that is the people who aren't winning Player of the Year and multiple majors. Just like purely curious of, are you hearing any of that, and just your perspective as a player who's got a locked in stable contract, and even outside of the contract you're straight up winning enough tournaments where even like the actual cash prize is like a significant piece. Here's what I want to ask is, do you think the tour itself is going to look any different this year? Meaning, when you look around and see the number of players, the way that people are traveling, are you hearing or expecting that anything will seem different, or do you really feel like it's just going to be an evolution from last year?
I mean, yeah, it's way different. I think sponsors and manufacturers are starting to realize that those mid to lower level pro tour tier players don't really bring in a ton of cash for their company unless they have a big media following. And so, yeah, it's just interesting. Disc golf's in a weird spot. I've kind of been told, we're on this wire, we're on this fence, and we can either make a splash out of it, or we're gonna just fall off the face of the earth. So, I'm hoping we can, I have ideas on how we can make the tour more successful, and it's gonna take some risks for sure, and I can go deeper into that eventually. But I know of some friends of mine that aren't touring. I know friends that don't have sponsors anymore that can't get one. I think when we look around the tour, we're going to see a lot less faces than we saw in the past. And But at the same time, I think if we look at the tour, you're going to really see who cares about their game and the people that are taking it seriously. Because if I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of players out there that you know they like the disc golf life, but they don't, they live that more than they do how they play. So they want to live the life, but they want to put the work in or stuff like that. And I do see that quite a bit on tour. And, you have seen some of those players get phased out over the last couple of years. And I think this year is going to be a big one where we're going to see a lot less people. But I think in the same boat, you're going to keep having, it actually opens up some spots for some new players that have never played pro tour events to get into tournaments. And I'm excited to see that. There's a lot of young players, obviously, that are up and coming that are. I expect to probably be in the top 25, top 30 this year. So, I'm excited to see, kind of what shakes up. It's always interesting to see what happens with who's good that year and who isn't.
Yeah, thanks. So you teased out you have different ideas that maybe help the pro tour. What's at the top of that list in your mind?
Yeah, I think the risk we have to take is we can't charge for tickets anymore, and we need to do the best we can to disperse
Ooh.
those tickets. We also need to spend money on. We basically just need to go where the highest disc golf population is, and we got to put a tournament there. And the other part is moving away from wooded courses. They're kind of ruining spectating experiences. If you think about, if I'm running the pro tour, and I'm sure there's a lot that goes into it, you know, I'm I would much rather have a little bit less money, but have 10 times the people at my event versus, the other way around. Um, I think at Jonesboro this year we had like 150 people, or last year 150 people watching the final round. Compared to, I know the European Open in the past hasn't charged, and they get thousands of people. And you know, even DDO was a great example. 2021, I believe, tons of people watching. Ricky made that putt from the drop zone, super iconic moment, and crazy, tons of people. And you fast forward to Worlds the next year, and it's dead. There's nobody there because they upped the ticket prices to like 100 per course or 100 per day per course. It's crazy, and I think it's going to take. I think taking advantage of schools as well. So if there's a tournament, when school's still in session, giving out free tickets to the classes, and whether that's high school or elementary, the
Good
youth is
point.
definitely where you grow sports. You got to have someone get sent out there and really just give away a bunch of free tickets. Um, like I said, I don't really know how you get into that, whether it's, you get your lunch and then the lunch lady gives you a free ticket to the disc golf tournament that weekend or something like that. Or you go to Subway in the local town, and after you get your sub, he's like, "Hey, there's a tournament. Here's a free ticket." We just need to get people out there, because once you get people out there, when sponsors ask, they're like, "How many people come to this event?" That's what they care about. If you get 10,000 people to a disc golf tournament versus 1,000 people, that's a big difference. Money's going to naturally come into the sport, and even vendors on the course, on the property, if you have that many people, you can make money through the vendors, and then the vendors can pay you more for the tournament. And so overall, if you think about sports, it's people, people, people. That's all that matters, is the amount of people that show up and come to these events. They just feel more professional even when that happens. As a player myself, if I'm in front of a small crowd at a pro tour and I'm playing some really good disc golf, it almost like feels like disc golf just isn't even a sport anymore. It's kind of sad, honestly. But when I go out to those tournaments like the European Open and the fairways are aligned, it feels like a real professional game done properly, and there's a lot of hype and excitement behind it.
Yeah, I saw for the, I'm going to get it wrong. Is it the Discmania challenge now? Is that what it is?
Create a challenge.
Okay, I got it right. I saw, because social media promotes it to me, there's like a special on VIP tickets for like $80 right now. I don't know if there's any left, but I was like, dang, that's a good deal. I got to come out and be at an event out there.
Yeah.
And this is no knock on, MVP Open, but you're not getting VIP tickets for $80. So it sounds like, I'm like, man, I could get a ticket, could fly out there and have the whole experience at Ganon's, you wouldn't call that a home course, really? I mean, maybe kind of.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's definitely
You're
not
from
my
there,
closest.
yeah.
Not my closest course, but if I'm going to a course and we're kind of debating, so there's probably 3 or 4 pretty solid courses within about the 20 to 25, maybe 30-minute range, and Pickard's only about 40 minutes. So I'm always willing to drive the extra 10 minutes, like, to go there. Like, that's a no-brainer for me. It's just so much better, and it's you can play the gold layout at any time. This baskets stay in, and the tee pads obviously don't change, so you can play that layout every single time.
What's the course that I played with you last winter when it was freezing cold? Do you remember what?
That was Ewing.
No,
and that was a pretty fun course too.
Okay. It was fun. It was enjoyable. We were walking through snow in our sneakers. It was pretty cold.
It was cold. It was cold.
Highlight of my life, Ganon, was throwing in that shot from what, like 200 feet? You were just like, bro, I did one shot the whole round that went in, and it was just like, for me, I dream about it still.
I'm trying to
No,
remember.
see, to you, it wasn't a big. Oh, maybe you can remember.
No,
Matt shot his life
was
and
on.
Ganon doesn't know.
It was the one with the OB that runs the whole tall grass down the right side. Like, you throw from like an elevated spot. There's OB grass or bushes the whole right side. Anyways,
Maybe Matt actually dreamed it.
I think it was like 14.
It sounds about right, in the back.
It's like a par 3 uphill.
I saved us a stroke. We thought we were getting a bogey, and I threw in for a par.
Yeah. Because who were we playing? It was like
Schlebach and Gavin.
Gavin. Okay, yeah.
Anyways, cold times. Did you guys get the snowstorm that's going through right now?
Not really.
Yeah,
no.
we didn't either. So that's weird.
I just went south.
I think it's just south of us.
Yep.
But you were also, you said, in Florida recently. Is it
Yep.
too prying to ask what you're doing down there? Just getting in practice or friends or what?
So Iowa State Cyclones, which is my college team. I'm pretty involved in college sports. So my dad actually had a role in the game. And so he was down on the field for the coin toss of the Iowa State Miami Bowl game. And that was in Orlando. And that's only about 2 hours from where my dad lives. So I flew down there to watch my dad do that and then watch the game. They ended up winning by a point. So that was pretty cool. And I just stayed for a week just because I wanted to stay in the warm weather and play some disc golf.
Okay. It must
So
be
talk
nice.
about, yeah.
The temperature,
So-
I mean, like warm.
75
Yeah.
and sunny every day.
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds
I got an
nice.
ace. I got an ace on my last throw of 2024.
Did you stop
What constitutes an ace?
intentionally?
And any length hole constitutes an ace in your mind, as long as it's
Okay.
first one from the tee pad. So, like, what was it? Like,
Yeah,
200
It was 300 over water blind, so it was pretty
Nice.
sick.
Cool.
It was like I threw a drop on a forehand out wide, went over the water onto the peninsula, and I ran to the side and I saw it go in. It was pretty cool. It's a hot take, but like it really depends on the difficulty of the hole. But if it's under like 150, it just doesn't count. I'm sorry.
What?
Doesn't count.
If I can,
That's
the
a
rules,
jump putt for
if I
you.
can putt it, it doesn't count.
But hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Now you also have to throw age criteria, because seeing like a 4-year-old do it would be pretty epic.
Yeah. It depends on the age, but like if you're a grown,
A grown
adult,
man.
like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. Like, you
So
can't
my
be-
question is, did you so you're probably on like hole 7, and then did you just stop so you can end it on an ace?
No, that was hole 18.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was the last hole.
nice.
Oh, so you were like legit.
I didn't have to putt. I just drained it.
That's
That's good
incredible, man.
stuff, man. Josh had a real
leaving
question, I
Vince
think.
be-
We were just like,
Oh, I mean, like, I love
But that
all
was
this,
a real
like,
question.
That
okay,
real.
it was a real question.
I have a real
We're gonna
question
post
too.
that to social media and say Gannon says if you throw in under 150, it's not an ace.
True.
It's a
And then
jump putt.
Gannon just humbly says 300 over water
Blind.
blind, hole 18. So anyway,
Hey, I got
Anything-
4 aces this year. That's a new high for me, I
Dang.
believe. I'm up to 8 aces.
Obviously, okay.
I think I got 4 this year too.
I have 4 forehand, 4 backhand aces. 4 of my last 5 aces are forehand.
Okay. This is kind of an offshoot of that because I've thought about this a lot in my disc golf life of 17 years now. I have maybe like 10 aces. Ganon has 4. Wait, you said this year?
8. Yeah, I have 4 this year.
Like 2025?
Sorry. 4 last. I keep getting messed up with that. You know, it's the first week. Whatever.
It's all good. It's all good. But you had, wait, so you have 8?
I have 8 total.
Last year?
No.
In your life?
I have 8 in my life.
4 last year.
I have more aces than Ganon?
Yes, my first ace was 2022.
Oh, I remember.
On
Wait,
GK's
that was,
Pro
yeah,
Skins.
okay,
yeah.
Preserve. Yeah, okay. Or not Preserve. Blue Ribbon.
Blue Ribbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of his most recent aces was yes.
Was yes?
Hole 3 at the Budweiser course, and I just screamed yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes, yes.
I was excited, man.
But so my question was going to be, now it's even going to be more interesting, realizing again that you don't have that many aces. I mean, 8's not bad. I was just going to take.
I think I got 4 last year too. 1 in front of Ganon Burr.
You did.
Oh yeah, you did. Yep.
So I guess what people are like, get to the question. Obviously, the better you are at disc golf, or maybe this isn't true, do your chances go up? And now I'm curious because Ganon only has 8. The better you are at disc golf, do your chances go up for an ace? I would say right off the cuff, yes. What's your take?
I mean, I agree, but it also is like, well, if you're trying to ace, like I don't ever try to ace. They're all bad shots. Well, okay, they're not bad shots, especially when they're like spiking in on a forehand or a backhand.
Yeah.
Like that's not a bad shot. It's gonna end up within 20 feet. But they're still just lucky. I'm not like aiming. I'm usually always aiming. It depends what way the disc is coming into the basket, and also depends on the ground play, the slope, the wind. I'll play to the tailwind side, just stuff like that. So like I'm never aiming to try to even get at basket height. It's always going to be short.
True. So now let's ask, the worse you are, do your chances go up? Because, and this is why I'm saying I have like 10 aces, and I'm thinking to myself, none of them did I try to ace. I just tried to throw a shot towards the basket. So like,
yeah.
And I guess I would say I got lucky. So
yeah,
interesting. I don't know if there like, is there anything to that? I would say watching players.
I don't really think so. I guess you probably just play shorter courses if you're worse.
It's true. That's funny too. But like, okay,
I play short course every day, like by my house whenever I'm home, and I could never ace.
Okay,
I have 1 ace there. That's it. It was a stupid one too.
Like if I throw Simon's name in here, obviously he throws a lot. He seems like he can. Where do you rank Simon at that? Like, does he actually have an actual talent that not a lot of people have?
Ezra Robinson has it too.
Okay, really?
But like, yeah. Him and Ezra are like the top 2 that come to my mind easily. Like they can say, "Hey, I'm gonna make this," or "I'm gonna hit metal," and they'll do it. Like I get so much worse when I do that. I miss the basket by 5 times as worse. I'm never like when I disc golf, I aim at everything but where you're supposed to aim. I aim at trees and I don't aim at the basket.
That's why you're shaking and nervous all the time.
Oh yeah.
No, that's just, I don't know. It just came up to my mind, but so there's something to it. Obviously Simon's good and you can watch him and he's like, oh, this is going in, that's not going in, or that's perfect out of the hand. And like, interesting. Ezra, I didn't know that about Ezra. So
he's like, he might be better than Simon at it, dude. He's so good.
Simon's next vlog, Simon, listen and call up Ezra. All right, Josh, back to you.
No, I mean, like, so it's talking about all this ace, but actually curious, Ganon, so you obviously down in the nicer weather, being able to throw some, whatnot, but what weaknesses, if this is the right way to ask, but are you trying to button up this year? Like, in other words, is it just plain old repetitive practice, or are you actually focusing on tweaking some things heading into 2025?
Yeah, I think hyzer flips a little bit, definitely just straight shots. And then on the forehand side, releasing like more of like a neutral disc on like a slight anhyzer and letting it glide left versus like chopping something and having it come out quick, or just having it on hyzer. So getting a little more flight out of I'd call like a little more inconsistent of a line with a forehand.
And are you working any new discs into your bag this year?
Yeah, definitely like new discs, maybe a couple new molds. I cycle through discs decently fast. I do like a beat up disc, but at the same time, if it's flipping just a little bit too much, then I don't really have a huge use for it. Um, like as of now, I took my PD out of my bag, the one that I used all of last year. Well, half of last year because I lost the other one. But it's the same one. It's the same exact die, same everything, same run. So I'm working in some new discs. I'm definitely working in the drop, Nicholas's drop into my bag. Um, Still debating if I need to have it or not because it overlaps a little bit with my tactic. Um, but I would use it more on the backhand side than I would the forehand probably. And then obviously my new mid range, the Glacier. It's something we don't really have with Discmania, so I'm gonna work that in the bag. It's just supposed to be straight to stable and can handle power. That's the main thing, is it goes far. There are MD3s that are overstable, but they don't really handle power or torque or wind that well. So I wanted something that's going to go faster and further, about 30 feet, which is, I think, exactly what we got. So I'm pretty happy with how it came out.
Very cool. One more thing, just on kind of off-season approach. What about off the course? You tackle anything and I ask this because you've talked about this, I think, in prior years. Workout, exercise, strength, diet, anything on the horizon, or just?
Yeah. I went to the gym today.
Ooh, all right.
I've been going to the gym. Whoa.
Points
cool.
for that.
Well, who else went to the gym on this call? Anyone? No? All right. Good job.
No, so that's a no.
So I've been going to the gym since the first week after Pro Tour finals. I've had I'm trying to go about 4 to 5 times a week with my friend Matt Schlabach, Titan Disc Golf.
Shout out, by the way.
Shout out.
You might know this, but there looks like I just got a picture. Maybe this is private. I'm not supposed to say, but he just sent me a picture of poker night or something at the shop.
Yeah, I haven't been involved in that, but it looks pretty cool.
And we're up on the TV, so if you wave right now, they're
nice.
sitting there watching.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, hello. Everyone.
I
can tell them what the hand is, by the
aces.
way. Yeah, I was just gonna say I can see. Maybe I can see the hand. Oh no, not good enough. All in.
All right, so the gym. Anything on the diet front, Ganon? Actually, here's the thing. I mean, I'm curious, like, just how you're approaching that while you're home, but also like when you head out on the tour this year. Like, are you doing anything different? Or, I mean, honestly, different than last year? I don't know.
I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to add something. So I've been doing a mobility program for the last 2 months. I do it average every other day, usually. It's kind of inconsistent. Sometimes I'll do it 5 days in a row, and then I'll skip a couple days. Like, I don't know. So it's kind of just whatever. And that's just trying to be able to get my body into kind of, I guess, tougher positions and just make it and be strong in those positions. So it's more I'd call it like active stretching or active. So your muscles are firing while you're stretching the muscles. So it's really like tearing it and building new muscles. So I've been working on that. I'm getting into more like agility training as I wrap up my off season. Try to make sure I'm all quick. I was running a couple miles a day for a little bit there, and then my treadmill shattered, so we got to get a new belt we just got a new belt, so I'll probably start running again here soon. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. My day usually consists of working out, going downstairs to look at all my discs, putting, throwing into the net, playing Fortnite, repeat every day pretty much.
All right,
Fortnite.
It's a good plan. Only so much longer before you're on the tour. What are you gonna ask, Matt?
It might be repetitive or boring for you, but maybe not. Every time your name gets brought up, people are like, ask about Legos. It's like you've got branded with that. First question. Is it old to you that people want to know so much about your Legos, or is it cool? Like you actually like them that much?
I'm gonna have some sad news to you guys.
Okay.
I haven't built one Lego piece this off season.
No.
How is he on cue so fast?
Ganon. Say it ain't so.
I'm sorry. It is so, man. I'm sorry.
Okay, so none this year. It looked like you built a really nice SUV Lego kit. Is that Legos?
I did. That was a couple 100,000 pieces, maybe 2 million pieces.
Yeah, but you're gonna be able to drive that thing for real. Tell us a little bit about the SUV. What's going on there?
So, all right, I'm just gonna break the news. All right, I'm gonna break
it.
the comments. Break the comments, okay, man.
Here's the breaking news.
Listen, I know it's a mom car. I know it's a soccer mom car. Okay.
Hey, people, you know what's even better
Wait
than
till
that?
you get on the inside.
Yes, a minivan. Yeah, that's what you should have got. A legit
No,
touring minivan. Ask Simon about it. Ask Simon. Those are pretty nice. Okay, anyways, tell us about your
Wait,
SUV.
why? What? Yeah. What was the reason you landed on that one? Is it used, or did you go to a
good for
dealer and
Iowa, man.
let them swindle you?
Okay, so I'll just break down the whole story.
Tell us.
I had just got I've only had my license for a little bit now.
Oh, that's
Whoa.
breaking news.
Oh, has that been exposed yet? No.
I don't think so.
Breaking news, everybody. Ganon
They
Burke
just broke
I
our
have my
eardrums.
got his
I've had it for like
driver's
2 months.
Let's go, Ganon.
Okay, so I have my license, so I had to get a car. I was driving this 2002 Yukon XL, so I didn't want to drive that anymore. And
It's kind of a sick car, though.
it's pretty sick, but it's just, yeah, I need something a little more reliable that I can take on tour. So, so you know, I was pretty, we were pretty short on time, and I had to get something before the end of the year. My mom can explain it more. Tax reasons. And
I guess
stuff
we could
like
have your
that.
mom on. Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Mom,
yeah.
Mom, come here.
That makes sense. That
Michelle.
makes sense
Yeah,
for tax to write it
there was
off for
there
the
was
for the
some
year.
tax.
Yeah.
It had to be over 6,000 pounds, so I can write it off as a business vehicle. And so that's why it's the size it is.
Smart Ganon.
And now being short on time, I was probably between like 4 cars. It was the Toyota 4Runner, Toyota Grand Highlander, the Chevy Traverse, and the GMC Acadia. Those are all like right over 6,000 pounds because I wanted something like as small as I could get it without it being either stupid expensive or
Escalade, baby.
Yeah, or that's huge. Yeah, no. But
imagine getting out of that like Escalade with like huge. What's big wheels on that? Like 22s.
I think there's 22s on my car.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, and so now the Traverse was it was all blacked out. It was like a sports edition, so it was a really cool Traverse. The outside was sick, but it didn't have a heads-up display. It also, the inside of the car I thought wasn't as nice as the GMC Acadia. The Acadia was like a couple thousand more, so that didn't really change my mind too much. I was just like, I'll go with whatever I think's better. The GMC Acadia rode a little smoother over bumps and stuff like that, and especially how I'm using the car, I'm just riding long distances, so I just want something that's comfortable. And then I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the screen on the inside of the Traverse was a little tilted, and it just made me so mad. I was like, I can't deal with that. Like, I need it right in the center, perfectly centered. And so the Acadia just has a nice, like, iPad-sized screen, so right in the middle. It's not facing any direction. It's doing its own thing. And so, once my mom was very surprised that I went with the Acadia just because of the looks. But I was like, I don't really want to sacrifice the luxury or just the higher quality of the Acadia just to go with something that looks a little cooler.
What were the other Toyota ones that you wanted? The Highlander and
4Runner and Highlander. Now the problem with 4Runner is if I got 4Runner, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, he's just trying to be AB," because AB has the 4Runner.
Oh, I know that from Alden.
Yeah, Alden has one too. I don't lie, I didn't love Alden's 4Runner. So I was considering it just because it's kind of the hype.
It's a swag car, but not good on mile per gallon.
It's all right, yeah. And then the Grand Highlander, we just couldn't find any, so we were like, well, we'll just get a car that we have here. And I hate making decisions. If you know me, I hate making decisions, especially if I have options. If I have options,
I'm like, what kind of pizza you want? Pepperoni, cheese, meat combo, onion peppers. You're like, bro,
pineapple.
You probably know that. I just hate it.
You're just like, bro. You just like, get the chocolate chip cookies, bro. That's all I know.
Get the churros. Give me all the churros.
I went 2 weeks with no sugar in December.
Ooh, how did that go for you?
Too.
Give us a status update on that.
Wait, what do you call it in Iowa? It's called Pop.
Coke.
Pop.
Pop. Yeah, I
Oh,
think it's in
oops.
Iowa.
I
thing, Pop.
finally broke a year with no pop either.
Okay.
So
Zevia.
Zevia, it's the replacement. But I'm mostly water. I pretty much just drink water. I mean, I don't know. I feel healthier, I guess.
It's good
No,
for you in
but
the
that-
long run.
Mentally,
For
you
that-
probably
I drink
you know that it's
cold
better for you.
Zevia every night.
Yeah, for sure.
No, what about
so-
the 2 week though? Like, did you feel different? Did you feel headaches like they always say, or did it help you out? Did you have clarity? Like, give us the updates.
Well, when I say no sugar, I had fruit. Like I
No
had,
added sugar. Yeah.
I didn't have any like cookies or any, even like a granola bar that has added sugar. I didn't eat that. It was only natural stuff. So
Natural sugars.
it was only fruit. It was literally only fruit. Like whatever.
Who
So
or what inspired this?
I was like, well, we got like a month until Memorial. Let's grind it out for a couple weeks, see how it goes.
Let's go. Fire
Either
me
you come
up.
in all like super strong and ripped and ready to go, or you're just like, this has
Yeah.
been horrible. Give me the sugar.
Love it.
I mean, as I've gotten older, like my craving for sugar has gone down like quite a bit. Like I don't really like need it. Especially like when this year on tour, I had such a set meal. Like I had the same thing every single day pretty much. And that was just, I almost never got any sugar when I was on the road, except for if it was a travel day, I would go and splurge on some fast food crap or whatever. But I'd pretty much like, I don't eat any candy ever. So, yeah, I mean, just slowly has been a good transition. I just got a meal plan I'm going to follow on tour. So I'm excited to try that out and kind of
So
chart down all my stuff. That
it
I'm
was
eating.
inspired by yourself. Schleibach in the chat says fruit and what else did he say after and? He said fruit and as in like you were
Steak.
eating. No, fruit and churros.
I don't know why he's saying that.
I don't know. Fruit and churros. And Backstage Organics. I don't know if you've heard of them before. We definitely
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm on the team.
Okay. No added sugar
Yeah.
is all in caps. They said huge. No added sugar is huge. Huge. So there you go.
Nice.
And so
that's
are you meal planning as in like you're going to kind of like say, hey, these are my like 10 go-to meals. Like I have them all planned out. Like if I ever go,
Yeah.
this is that kind of a meal plan.
Yeah. I just got to go to the store and
Right.
pick out whatever amount of this is, and as of now, I had a friend do it for me. Jeff Yonda, shout out. He might even be at poker. But yeah, and so I got a week so far of a meal plan, so I'm gonna try to follow that on tour.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, and it's not easy, man. You know that getting around traveling. I travel for business and it can be hard to find good meals.
Yeah.
Ganon, what was the meal that you ate every day? Was it your like canned chicken and rice, or was it something different?
So usually the morning, and sometimes there's a lot of times I didn't eat in the morning, just because like I'm nervous. I don't really feel like eating. So when I'm on tour, like especially before the round, I'll only eat for fuel. I don't like want to eat just because I get so nervous.
Yeah.
But it's usually like chicken and rice for lunch. Alden put me on that, and then for supper I do steak and mac and cheese, and that's what I had literally every single day. And then we would get like when you get a good pineapple or a good watermelon, it's just game changing.
That
Game
wait,
changer.
with this like pineapple on the steak or just
Dude,
on the
I
side?
heard a grilled pineapple. Yeah, that's good.
That's fire. That's fire.
Wait, so you're buying? So when you go into a new location, the first thing on your GPS is ribeye near
Pineapple.
me. Oh, like,
Oh.
but I'm saying like, so you buy a steak every single place you go to, and you
we
cook
go,
it
like,
every
wherever
day.
we're at, and I'm like, all right, where's the steak section at? And then I was going
How-
air fry it.
How much
It's Jeff.
steak?
It's Jeff.
He's there.
He's at poker night.
That's Jeff on the left.
All right, he's there.
Yo, dude, I listened to it. He looks ripped. Jeff, give me a meal plan, bro. I'd listen to you, bro.
Jeff's a healthy guy. Okay?
We'll give
So I
him a
trust him.
segment on the show called like, what would it be called? Like not Health Minute, like something awesome.
Health minute.
Yeah.
You need like health 10 minute.
Health a minute.
Health minute's not enough time.
He gives the tips that we share, and like that's his segment.
That's funny. Yeah, Matt,
All
unless
over.
you're still asking about food.
No, all over the board tonight. Whatever you got.
All right. Well, I just want so you have a vehicle. So you're driving on tour?
Yes, breaking news right now. Exclusive Nick and Matt show ready or Staggered Stance.
Yes,
Sorry.
Nick and Matt will live on forever in the hearts of
Yeah,
everybody.
I love it.
It's still my mom still's like, hey, you watching Nick and Matt? Like it doesn't even matter who's
Without
on
Nick.
it.
So good, dude. I'm glad.
um,
That needs to go down, for a long time. Thanks.
Okay, so Sullivan Tipton is not my new tour buddy.
Oh, cool.
All right.
Alden is gone.
What?
Wait, Alden's gone?
He's
Off
gone,
tour?
bro. No, he's just not. I'm not in the same car as him anymore.
Wait. Oh, like you're driving
not-
Sully.
Yeah, we're gonna trade off.
Yeah, you'll trade and drive together and all that. But with your new vehicle, that's cool.
Yes.
Congrats.
I will tour with Alden because Sully's not playing all the tournaments, I believe. So, like West Coast, I'll ride with Alden. So it's not over. The bromance is not over.
Bro, man.
It's just a little break, okay?
We're just on a break.
Relax, everyone. Just a break.
He announced Discmania again to be, I don't know if it was trying to be funny or just a reminder to everybody, but he's back with Discmania.
Yeah. So speaking of your friends and announcements, so I had two things. I've seen you trolling. I'm using that word online plenty about where some of your friends may sign. So first of all, just tell us a little bit so first of all, do you all talk about this trolling or does it just happen? And secondly, when is Isaac announcing his new sponsorship?
When?
What day is it today? What's the day today?
Today's
the 6th. The recording day
7th?
is the 6th.
Oh, 6th. Okay. All right. Isaac will be announcing within the next month.
Yeah.
I like
That's
it.
good. That's good. That's
Sorry, Isaac.
Yeah. He's like, dude, I was holding out till the end of February.
So I mean, the trolling's funny because we all have the exact same sense of humor when it comes to it. Like we can just basically read each other's brains on what we're saying, and we all just
laugh to yourselves.
We almost, the group chat almost just turns into the comment section. Like we just talk in the comment section. Like we all know.
You don't even use a group chat like a text group chat. You're just in comments on social media
on someone else's post. Yeah. They have a
just
group chat.
Talking back and forth.
I love it.
Pretty much.
Bro, what are you getting for lunch today? I don't know. Let's go to Taco Bell.
And everyone's like, why are they doing this right
now? Hey, have any of the sponsors at all commented or weighed in to you, any of you on the side about that? Or is it just not a thing?
I don't know, honestly.
Okay.
I think I think would be so funny is when Ezra obviously he announced he was leaving Prodigy and then announced Discraft pretty quickly.
Yeah.
He posted that picture of him in the Discmania hoodie.
Yeah.
The ultimate troll would be you post yourself, let's just say for example he was going to Discmania. You post yourself in the Discmania hoodie as a troll, but it's actually true, and then you announce and it's what? It's
it's the double
it's reverse psychology. Yeah. It's he's not gonna post where he's going, obviously.
I feel like Niklas did the ultimate reverse troll.
We talked about that last year.
It's I'm leaving the company and I will never come back or something like that. And he's back.
I'm still convinced, and I shared my take, and I remember because I was down in Texas and we had you on the show, and I think we were talking about it. I still think there's more to that than ever came out. I still don't think it was intentional on his part as marketing. I think there was more to that. But anyways, so yeah, that'd be funny. I think it's hilarious. Other shows, podcasts, whatever, are talking about it too. Everyone knows you guys are having a good time. I think it's good for the sport to have you guys involved in that way, lighthearted, going around doing what you do. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
So speaking of less than lighthearted, there's been stuff online about House of Discs, Discmanias under that umbrella. Do you as a player pay attention to any of that, or does that let the business side take its course? Do you hear anything? Are there any kind of pressures at all, or is that not something on your radar?
It's not concerning for me right now because on my side of it, everything's still up to date, everything's going good, so I'm not worried about it. And maybe if something weird happens with my deal, then I might be concerned. But as of now, everything's going how it should be going, and Discmania is under the House of Dis umbrella, obviously, but in my personal opinion, I feel like they operate a little bit more away from House of Dis than any other House of Dis company. Like,
I agree.
they're as independent as you can get while still being under the umbrella, I guess.
Cool. Yeah, no, thanks for sharing. I mean, like, obviously for us, it's interesting to see and things kind of going down on Reddit. We talked about that a little bit before you joined, but appreciate you weighing in.
Yeah, I told you I texted Seth Findley earlier, and he did get back to me, but because I'm friends and I'm off the record with most of my conversations, I'm going to wait till he gives me a response on something public. But I can just simply tell you, without telling you what he said, it seems to be that there's no fire. I'll just say that, and I'll wait to hear if I can say something officially. But
No fire.
Well,
What does that
that's
mean?
not that. That's not that far off of my take
Yeah.
at the beginning.
yeah,
Ben's out of
I'm
the
just
loop.
trying to say, like, at least there's like, it's not like a actually there's probably a lot to that, and I can't tell you anything. Like, that's when it's like serious. But so you are coming out to the expo. You caved on that. You're going to Fountain Hills.
Yes.
You didn't cave on that. That's fun, right? Like Heiser's over water and all that. That's a just fun tournament.
Yeah, it's just a fun event. It's relaxing.
Mhm.
We always stay at Rick's house, so that's always just fun to kind of basically have a party all week. And he's got his putting stations, his hot tub, and it's just kind of a fun time all around.
Ice
So
bath.
ice bath, you have to do the ice bath.
Dude.
So I always have good memories at his place. And another big reason, the two big reasons were really I'm two-time defending champ. I haven't lost there yet, so I'm hoping to continue that. But also the fact that I'm very close to breaking the overall rating record of 1062. And so if I can, play really good here with the high ratings that tournament usually offers, I can probably get closer to breaking that record, hopefully within a couple points. And then if I play solid during the first 2 months of the year, I should be able to break it.
Ben, what do you have lined up for Ganon? Is that like something you do, or does Ganon have to agree? Do you have a contract? Like, what do you have lined up for the expo?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
is it an autograph station for 12 hours straight, or
so
like?
what I got is in our contract. Ganon has agreed to give me 1 hour of a coaching session, personal one-on-one at the expo. I had to bake that in for something for me. Ganon also has agreed that he'll be signing autographs until midnight. So there's a lot of things. No, some people, yes, I do like I do things where it's like, post on social media, or you will, like, for Overthrow, you'll give free form reviews and just put that in the contract. But something for like Ganon, or like, let's say Simon or Paul, who are just, coming out, and there's no real expectations, I guess. It's basically what they want to do and whatever their company wants them to do. I don't have any really thing imperative. My main thing is to just be at the expo and be present. That's all I care about. And I care about the attendees, and I want them to have the best experience. And as long as they're at the expo and hanging out and interacting, that's all I really care about.
Love it.
Matt Schlabach might come to the expo.
He just said that. If he, here's the deal, Ben, you're gonna be like, why is Matt saying this? Why, Matt, don't say this. Like, I wish winter was the time to come up here to play disc golf.
Yeah, it's not.
Like, so
that's
in my
why the
head,
expo's beautiful.
yes,
though.
and I'm gonna say that's why the expo is the right time for it, in the sense of like, it's something to do. But in my head, I'm like, dude, if Schlabach's coming, or Ganon, or anybody, like, man, I want it to be warm and go out and play some rounds.
Maple Hill's open is all I'm saying.
We'll get it
and
in.
Meadowbrook. And
First experience in 10 inches of snow, maybe.
Yeah. So
I will not play if there's a drop of snow. I'm not playing. That's the rule.
That's true. No,
barefoot. You mean you're not playing with shoes? You'll play barefoot.
Yes.
Okay.
Again,
cool.
have you taken in Beast games at all on Amazon Prime?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've always wanted to get into TV shows. I don't think I've ever watched a TV show ever.
which is fine with me. But Ben Kenny was a superstar on.
I know he was.
East Games.
So I might have to get my TV show glasses on.
Start
You
it
can
up, bro.
spot
You'll
him-
see me a few times.
I was just
You'll
gonna say, you
spot
can
me.
spot
I think
him.
he won, guys. Spoiler, I think he won.
You can spot him at least two
He
or three
can't
times.
tell us. He can't tell us for sure if he won, but I did see him get eliminated. But he can't tell us if he won.
No, I can say I lost now
Alright,
that the
alright,
episode's out. So, but if I were to win, I'd sign Ganon to my own company.
Have
That'd
you
be
have
pretty
you
awesome.
watched all the episodes, Ben?
Yeah, of course. Why?
You mean
do
all the
they,
ones that have
do they
been
hi-
released?
Like, are you like the focus of like any shot there?
Yes. I should find
I'll
it.
just give you a little sample.
I was gonna say I
But
should find
it depends what you mean by focus.
That's what he does,
Yeah,
but-
that's it. What you see Ben doing, you get to see it for like.
He
a
literally
second and
is
a half.
on like all nervous and distressed. No,
And,
let's-
and like this, I'm like this. I'm praying at
yes,
some
there's
point.
another one. He's praying. So
So funny.
he does
That's it.
actually get camera time in that sense. Like he actually gets a camera shot out of
That's sick.
500,000 competitors.
1,000.
So, but let's actually talk about this just a little bit. And Gannon, if you got to go, just tell us. But I just wanted to ask Ben because we haven't talked about it on the show yet. Because last week I don't know
Yep.
why it didn't come up. In all seriousness, I'm going to put you on the spot, Ben, and I'm going to say you were offered $100,000 cash, literally a case of it. Like they open, like Mr. B style, they open a case of $100,000, and they're like, Ben, if you cancel everybody in your row, you get $100,000, $100,000.
Yes.
You didn't take it? Let's talk
I
about
didn't
that
take
for just
it.
a second.
Okay.
Go ahead. Like talk
Oh,
about.
you
it.
want me to say
Yeah.
why I didn't take it?
You
Like,
literally, but just
how
I'm
nervous
restating
were
what
you?
Matt said. You literally could have been like, "Yep, raise your hand, make a decision," and whatever the paperwork would have been, but they would have handed you $100,000 in a briefcase.
So to give context, it was to move on to the city that he built, and if you took the money, you would eliminate everyone in your row. So it was a very selfish, greedy thing to do. The reason I didn't take the money is because I said I would not take the money to everyone. That's part of the game. You're like everyone who took the money said to their team, "I'm not taking the money," because that's part of the game. But I actually said I'm not taking the money. And then
You're a man
I didn't
of
know it
your
was gonna
word.
get up to $100,000. I'm gonna be honest. I definitely started having like thoughts like, "What am I doing right now?" But I'm a man of integrity. Like I was there on the platform praying about it, and I was like, if I take this money right now, will it be worth it? And I just felt deep in my soul, just like this pit of despair, and I knew that it wouldn't have been worth it. It would have been deceitful, lying,
Because you said
greedy.
you wouldn't.
Because I said I
question.
wouldn't. Yes.
He has a question for you.
So, no, I'm not even sure you can say anything about this, but would it be allowed to take that money and then just go to them after the show's
That's
done
what I
and then
thought.
just split up the money? Or is
Yeah.
there like a contract you can sign that says like, no, you can't do that?
No, if I was generous, I could take the money and then just be like, all right, I want to split it evenly between. But I had like 8 people in my row, so I would have eliminated everyone's dreams. The reason I didn't take it is I said I wouldn't take it. That's literally it. I'm a man of integrity, and if I took it, I just know I would have felt.
But nobody
really
else
bad.
in your row took it either. Imagine they did.
Exactly.
Then would you still be happy with your decision? I'm assuming yes. Like if someone else took it, you're
I'd
like,
be
"Ah, I
much
should've
more
took
up.
it."
I'd be much more upset. I'd have been
Okay.
very upset. Like that's incredible. Yeah, I don't think I would have taken the money. I would have taken the money if I said, "Hey guys, I'm gonna take the money," but it wouldn't have got up to $100,000 if I said that. So it was just, and another part of it was, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I've been blessed thanks to the disc golf community. $100,000 is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but I'm blessed enough to be in the position where, hopefully that's something I'll make in a year or a few years or something like that, where it's not like something that I would want to risk my reputation over. So another reason is because once in a lifetime opportunity, and it's like you just want to see how I wanted to see how far I could get. I just wanted to see. It's just like one of those things where like I want to keep going. This is an incredible opportunity. I'll never have this again probably, and I just want to see how far I'll go. And that was the big reason. My focus was on keep going, keep moving on, because I had and I'm so glad I got to the city. And even though I was only there for 2 days, I had exactly like some of the best time of my life just hanging out in that city. So at the end of the day, I'm very fortunate. I'm very blessed, and a big part of this thanks to everyone listening to in the disc golf community. So that $100,000 was not worth it at all. It would have been. I would have felt like blood money. I would have felt bad. I really would have just felt like really.
What if it was
like
a million?
Okay, so Ganon, you haven't watched the show, but the show gets wild, and so you would enjoy it, I think. So Mr. Beast, being who he is, brings up 3 or 4 contestants, and they are like leaders of a team of, let's say, 50 people. So they have like 4 people. They go up on this stage, and they start this dollar counter, and the dollar counter just keeps going up. Ting, 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 ting. Okay, it's going up 1,000, then it's up to 10,000, 20, and they go, listen, if any of these leaders hit the button, they take the cash that's on the sign behind them, and their whole team's eliminated, just like Ben's saying.
Crazy.
But
and they get to stay in the game.
They also get to stay in the game.
60 people on their team.
Right.
Let's say like 40.
So
40,
I said
50.
50. So I said 40 or 60, 50. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that for a second.
So they could take the money, stay, and their whole team goes. But the number just keeps going up, Ganon, and it doesn't stop. It just keeps going until someone caves. Okay, it's going up 500,000. 600,000. 7. I'm giving it away. Ganon's gonna watch it. I'm
not gonna watch it.
Okay.
Now.
Okay. Well, then I'm not gonna tell you how high it goes. But
Tell me.
It makes it up to $1 million for somebody to hit the button. They can have $1 million. Nobody hit the button, Ganon. It's like all the best people in the world, Ben included, they get offered all this money and they're just like, won't take it. It's legit, straight up cash.
Well, here's the thing. So I didn't make it to that part. I got eliminated before. So,
but would you have turned down $1 million for Ganon's question?
Yes, because I turned down the 100,000 because we were a team. We weren't like people are saying like it's a competition. No, we were a team. We all had to work together to make it to the city. If it was a competition and I had to fight for the million, like fastest one to touch it, then yeah, that's no big deal. But we were a team. The reason those people didn't take the $1 million is because they were voted as captains. They had to prove to people that they were. He told people it's going to be for a lot of money. They had to prove to people that they had integrity and morals and that people trusted them. And
they did
yes,
I'm impressed.
Yeah, they didn't take the $1 million. Yes, $1 million is a lot. But those people that were voted didn't take it, and that's the reason that they were voted. Because, and to everyone who says I would have took the $1 million, well, you wouldn't have been voted. And you would have been voted.
I would have tried to persuade them.
What if it was 100 million?
Yeah, let's go to 100 million.
And here's the other thing that people don't realize: like, Mr. Beast gets millions, hundreds of millions of people listening. It just, my dad's always said the name on the back of your jersey is the most important name ever, and I'd never want to do anything to impact that. It just felt wrong.
In your case,
and especially if those people took the $1 million, and people always comment like, "I would have taken it," and I understand, but for me personally, it just felt wrong. So. That's all.
Good job. It's entertaining.
We know who you are. So yeah, good work.
Thank you.
How about I offer you 100,000 and the show shuts down, but you get 100,000?
Here's the thing. If I want 100,000, like if you want to give me 100,000, just come to the expo, guys. Like if you want to support me, I don't need the money I don't need this blood money. This blood on my hands. I want to. If you want to come to the expo and come to Disc East and Disc South, that'll support me, and then that's the right way.
Maybe not politically correct fully here, but one of our listeners, I'll say Doc's done. I'll throw him out there. He did a public comment. He says, "My dad ... would have taken me to the woodshed for not taking it." So, anyways, that was cool, Ben. There was an episode or 2 or 3 where we were like, Ben's gone. And we can't tell anyone where.
Yes.
I can say it now, and I don't think that this one was related, but you came into studio once and you were like, dude, can I do a Mr. Beast interview? And I was like,
Yes.
I'm sitting in studio and they don't need to know, but I'm going to listen and watch and see how this goes down. It was interesting. They interviewed each of you, and
Yeah, this was like 2 years ago.
Ben lied
Nothing
to get
came of
on.
it.
Wow.
I did not lie.
integrity. It's like, I have
Integrity.
like- I'm just messing.
So
dude.
if you watch the video, one of the guys that turned out $1 million, he said, "You can't buy my integrity, Jimmy." And I like that. I like that quote.
That's cool. All right. Well, we've taken up a lot of time, Ganon. We appreciate you swinging by. Is there anything that you wanted to say that we didn't talk about? Because I don't want to cut you if you did, but otherwise we're good.
Yeah, my Squatch bag
Oh.
got released very recently, and so
Sheesh.
thank you to anyone who purchased one. They'll be shipping out, I believe, this month and at the end of this month, maybe. And obviously are still available. So the red, white, and blue colorway, Old Glory. Yeah, check it out. I think it came out real nice.
I'm not a super fan, I guess. What other bags have you carried in your quote career? Maybe since you were 14, like any like grips and all the pounds or anything.
Oh,
Prod.
I had a dynamic disc bag was my
Okay.
first bag, and then I had a Prodigy bag, and then I was Prodigy bags up until I left Prodigy, and then I was
Oh,
Squatch.
okay.
So only
Okay.
3 different bags.
Okay.
I never got into the pound or the grip or yeah.
Because we just saw Simon and Eagle post video announcement saying, "Hey, more or less, I'm summarizing. We're done with grip." I
Yeah.
thought that was interesting. So
I wonder if it's because MVP makes their own bags.
That's what I think.
they didn't say that, but that's kind of was my speculation. I know back in the day, Innova sponsored players were supposed to carry Innova bags, and I'm just gonna say it, most people didn't want to because the bags weren't the greatest quality at the time.
The superhero bags.
Yeah.
I know
So,
those ones.
anyways, yeah, that's probably is what it is. I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did. Maybe that was part of their agreement coming on with a contract saying like, "Hey, we have to finish out our grip." Ganon's showing us a disc for our audio listeners, or
But
teasing.
go buy a Squatch bag. That's what I'm hearing. Go buy Ganon's Squatch bag.
What is the disc, Ganon?
It's
It's just a cloud breaker.
It's just a cloud breaker.
what's that plastic called? Like Innova, I would say Halo, but what is that?
Horizon.
Horizon
Horizon.
looks good. Wow,
It is good.
the white looks like cloudy almost, right?
It's pretty sick. It's like marbly.
Yeah, I love that. Cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
All right, dude. Good times. I guess we'll see you up here at the expo up in our neck of the woods, assuming that all works out. And you'll enjoy a good time down in Scottsdale, right? Scottsdale.
Yep.
All right. Safe travels, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. Peace out.
Later.
Thanks. G money.
Yeah, that looks fun. For those, I don't want to go on and on and on about Mr. Beast or the games, but part of me did a little bit, but that'd probably be like an after show. But like, there's a lot of crazy games. The one that you got to play on, just to put it out there, there's a few. Like we said, take $100,000, eliminate your row, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it'll last. But then another one you got to play was pretty much, I don't know if it's a group of 100 or not. I'm just going to throw it out there as an idea. 100 people versus 100 people. And you can't see each other's teams, 100 versus 100. And they give you what, 30 minutes? Is that how long it was? 15 minutes? 30?
Oh, a different Mr. Beast video. I was like, this does not ring
Yeah.
a bell. Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it's just days. Like whoever leaves first.
No, I'm
Or-
talking about you. You were on a
Oh.
team on the
Mr. Beast
tower. Ben's like, I
Beast
was.
games.
We talked about it at my house just 2 hours ago when you were here.
Oh no, that wasn't 100 people. That's why.
Oh, I said
That's why it
I
confused
got the
me.
number wrong. 40 people.
Sorry. Okay, yeah, my challenge, the self-sacrifice challenge.
So
Yes.
Ben is in a group of people that have to decide who's leaving the show for $0.
They have to self-eliminate themselves for
Yeah.
us to move on.
But it wasn't just like, hey, if we get 5 to
Without-
self-eliminate.
There's no money. Yeah.
The other group was in the same predicament, and whoever sent home, I say self-sacrifice, but whoever sent home self-sacrificed, more people got to stay, that group, and your group didn't.
Yep.
Epic.
One shy.
So you could just
So.
stand there and be nervous for however long that was, 30 minutes.
Yeah, it stinked, and then they rushed us out of city, and then I get.
Oh, really? They're just like,
didn't get,
peace.
then, yeah, I didn't get to say bye to my friends, but and that's another thing. Like, I didn't take the $100,000, and then literally the next challenge, I got eliminated. But would I change it? No. Well, I guess if I would go back in time and just not say that I'm not taking the money. I would just be like, I don't know. But then again, I don't know, because like, who knows? I could have won the thing. That's the thing that people don't realize is like, yes, it's money, but you could have gone far. And there's Teslas. There was $200,000 for grabs. There's a whole island for sale. I wanted to keep going.
But they do say money in the hand is worth more than, or two in the bush is worth more. I don't know what they're saying.
I would have taken the money if it wasn't dishonorable.
True.
In my opinion.
No, it's
all.
Good.
That's all.
We rehashed that one though.
So speaking of, I mean, I don't know where you're taking us, Matt, but money in the hand, making decisions, all of these things. The sponsorship market, like there's a lot happening right now, but there's still kind of some big names and things that are still looming. So it's kind of like we're still in this like in between space.
So can I cut you off to talk about it then?
Yeah.
Is Flying Saucers disc golf?
Yeah.
Flying Saucers disc golf. By the way, you're not going to forget the name. When you hear Flying Saucers anywhere now, you're going to think of Flying Saucers disc golf in Dartmouth, Massachusetts. If you're in that neck of the, man, I'm getting my phrases wrong. In the neck of the woods, in my neck, if you're in that neck of the woods, if you're in the neighborhood of Dartmouth, if you're in, I'm going to say it, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, if you're traveling up through any of those, if you're up in Maine coming down, Team Challenge or anything else, or if you're just up here visiting one of the great courses, check them out. So he sent me pictures of some of the treasures at the store. So he has 6 discs, all signed by Paul Macbeth there. If you want to go buy a special signature disc, like literally autographed. He has a 133-foot practice hole at the pro shop. 133 cool. feet, Ben. You ever seen
inside or outside?
That's a good question.
That's such a dumb question.
Have you seen a shop
it's gotta be
that
out.
far? I don't know.
Hey, according to Ganon, that wouldn't be an ace, but that's still pretty epic. To be,
Also, fun fact: the basket that is 133 feet away is hole 13 from D-Glow. So it's legit, like from the course cool. D-Glow. So you can get that major experience. And then one has a net set up so that people can use the 3 discs they have with game proofers. You've heard of game proofers. Are they at the expo, Ben?
Tech Disc is at the expo.
Okay, so similar concept.
Same thing, though.
Similar, yeah, very similar. So he has game proofers to help analyze the throws of players coming in. They have software installed on the iPad to help analyze all aspects of a person's form to help them improve. All free services. Besides the fact that you can get your disc locally, check out Flying Saucers Disc Golf. Thank you, Arnold, for what you're doing over there. People, file it away. Flying Saucers Disc Golf, local disc golf shop up here in New England. Cool, Josh. So take it away. The other news.
Well, I was just going to say, we could go through a list of names and things we've heard. There's been some people saying they've left teams, some people saying they're not going to tour. There are some signings. You heard Ganon. We asked him, and we didn't ask him to break any news, but he's like, yeah, things are going to definitely look different next year. He says, I have friends who lost sponsorships who don't have a sponsor. He has others who have kind of changed their situation. And his opinion, to me, was interesting is, now we go back and listen if you want his words, but my interpretation is what's going to be left is kind of your real grinders who are out here playing disc golf because they want to be good at disc golf and not necessarily just looking to tour. And so that'll be interesting. Parker Welk, Dynamic Discs today. We talked about that. We have DGA, a bunch of kind of announcements, but I think everything I saw with DGA was returning players. But in today's market, I think that's even news, right? I mean, that's the point. It's like, so Colbert Allen's back there. Andrew Marweed's back there. Is Ellie Ezra back there, I think? Rookie of the Year? Wait, did she win Rookie of the Year? Okay,
she did.
I believe so.
She's back.
So you've got a bunch of names like that. Obviously, Innova, in their kind of classic fashion, for the most part, seems to stick with a lot of one-year deals. I think there are some exceptions for some of their players now. But I think the big name we saw add was Emily Weatherman, right? So she joined. Innova, so congrats to her on kind of
I'm
working her
interested
way
to see
the
how she
premier team.
develops as a player. Obviously, she
Yeah.
came out, she's played really well junior, then she came in and played really well, I guess, rookie year. I'll be interested to see. I mean, we've talked about players before. Are they plateauing? Is that their ceiling? Do they have a high ceiling? I think she played pretty well. What did we have her at averaging, Josh? Do you know? Let me see.
At like her finish place?
Yeah, I should.
I mean, I'd have to look that
Let me
up
see.
too. I definitely don't.
I have it. I just
No.
gotta let my internet load real quick. Emily. Oh wait, was she? She wasn't. She didn't have a tour card last year.
I'm.
That's an
I'm gonna
interesting
say
question.
I don't know, but
I do not have her. We didn't have her in Pop Drop Lock except for Locks.
I don't think
she was
I
never
don't
in
think
a Pop or
you
Drop.
need a tour card as an FPO player, personally.
Well, they do get tour cards because that's how we made our list last year for Pop Drop.
No,
Lock.
I don't think
Oh, like you can get up
need
to any
one.
event.
Yeah,
pretty
like
much, yeah.
I'm sure she just signed up without no
So,
issues.
I'd have to go look it up somewhere else. But I guess what I'm going to say is like, I think she played pretty well for herself, obviously, and I think she has room to improve.
yeah.
I'll just leave it at that. There's not.
And by the
enough
way, like
information.
I slightly misspoke because I called Eliezer Rookie of the Year. She was one of the candidates for Rookie of the Year. Emily is actually the winner of Pro Tour Rookie of the Year.
Wookie of the Year. We need to do a real award for that. Wookie of the Year.
Yeah, but anyway, so congrats to Emily.
Wookie.
I think we see people like Big Germ coming off of Team Innova.
Yeah. Okay.
Where's he going?
Ben, last week when Nick and Josh wasn't here, Nick and I were kind of talking through what would be like shocking news. And we started kind of saying, let's game this out. Like, let's just talk through it. I don't know if you listened, Josh, but we just kind of talked through ideas. Like companies would be a big thing. Like if companies were shutting down, we'd name some players. Big Germ came up. But like for us, it didn't stand out to us as that would be like shocking or like massive. It was like, that's news because it was like he's a player that's like tied to Innova or at first for so long. Like that's news. But like
But
go
part
ahead.
of the
Ben.
shock value is where he's going,
Okay.
to me.
Okay.
Well, that's
To me.
actually, I was going to say something similar. Is I don't know if I'm shocked unless you're leaking something, Ben, because I haven't heard. But I agree with you. Like leaving Innova's news, like you said, Matt. But I'm more curious because like he's not like leaving the sport. So it's kind of like more intriguing. And I don't know if it'll be a giant splash. I'm also actually quite frankly not expecting that. But still like curious as these kind of players who have been really like part of the tour for like however long, a decade. Like their name is part of it. Just to see what this evolution looks like.
Lone
especially
Star
when we're
would
in
be
this-
shocking,
yeah.
Ben. I'm not gonna lie.
Well.
Big Germ goes to Lone Star. I am shocked.
That's what I'm saying.
Ben,
Yeah, where
he
it's like
can't give on. I'm trying to read his
where he's
face.
going is shocking.
But yes, that would, and I don't mean a diss to Lone Star. I just mean like that would be shocking.
No, but
It would be shocking if you went to almost anywhere except somebody else just as big as Innova. Like for example,
I was gonna say
returning to-
Discraft would be like interesting, but not shocking.
No, I agree. That's why I
Prodigy-
said just as big.
Prodigy would be very interesting just because he was there and then he left.
Yeah, but I would put that in the
Well,
classification of shocking
here-
to me.
Okay.
here's the thing that I'd say. If I'm Big Germ, I have value because I have such a big fan base
Mhm.
and my personality. I don't have as much value as in player wise, but that's part of his value. If I'm
Oh, yeah.
Big Germ, I think I'm reaching out to these smaller companies to be their big guy, like, and to get the big contract. Like, I'm reaching out to Lone Star Project and be like, give me $300,000 for the year, and I'll be your dude. You know what I'm saying? Whereas opposed if he goes other places, he's maybe like second, third team. So that's
Yeah,
just
it'd be
what I would
interesting.
do.
There's just so many ways to because he's built a personal brand. There's actually a lot of angles he could take. So it'll be interesting. We still haven't heard officially. We talked about it with Ganon earlier. We haven't heard anything official about Climo, so that's interesting. And by the way, I'm skipping over tons of other names. Like it's not on purpose, but obviously Ezra announced Discraft. Isaac, we're still waiting. We've seen some other Discraft players re-signed. Presnell, who's a major winner last year. Ben Calloway, who kind of still working tirelessly out there, and other names as well, right? I'm still always intrigued if somebody like Kevin Jones, who really got the big contract with Prodigy and then really performed at an underwhelming level,
Below expectation.
Yeah, exactly. And however it officially ended, obviously him and Prodigy parted ways, right? Which basically means you're not fulfilling that contract, like whatever the mutual agreement is or not. And so mid-year with Innova last year, and so it'll be interesting to see somebody like that who's kicking off a brand new full year with Innova, right? Speaking of Innova, Haley King was not listed on their team
Where's she
either,
going?
or
Now
Joel
that-
Freeman,
I
or
don't
Emerson
know.
Keith. So lots of names. I have zero scoop, but my take is we don't see Haley actually tour this year.
I was just going to kind of game that out a bit. I don't see her going back to Discraft because that's where she had just came from to Innova. I don't see it being like, hey, I'm back.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm not
if they
saying
got
she
a good
won't
deal.
play any. Yeah. I'm not saying she won't play any event. Like that may be, but like I'm talking like touring where she's racking up pro tour points and is out there. There's been something when it comes to her competitive spirit, navigating life issues, seeing her move, just like lots of things that to me just suggest it doesn't seem like her top focus or the drive's not there. Talent's probably there, which is why it'd be cool if she still showed up and played an event or two or three. But I don't know. Doesn't seem to be a fixture.
I don't know if in the last day, but she posted videos recently of like, hey, I'm enjoying throwing, this disc down the tight fairways, whatever. But I don't, it's hard. If you talk about like, hey, is it DD? Like, I don't know what those relationships would have to look like. But off the cuff, no, it doesn't feel right. Discraft doesn't feel right. Prodigy doesn't feel right. Like, I don't know if it's like a brand thing. Like, where does it feel right for Haley King to go? I don't know the answer. The chat right now, shout out Bear Bite. Haley King is done. Someone else said that's an interesting one. She isn't leaking anything. And then another one back to Big Germ, by the way. Someone said in a public comment, he said he's not going to Prodigy. So interesting stuff. I don't know the answers. Ben does, and that's why he's sitting quiet. But I've said this already. I'm kind of stoked I didn't get in the conversations this year. It's kind of fun to like just game these things without knowing. But
yeah.
I can tell you, Big Germ to hybrid disc golf. Just kidding.
Where does it feel right? I think it would feel right like something like Thought Space. I feel like with Big Germs, like graphics, appeal, all that kind of stuff, like Thought Space comes off as that type of a brand to me.
Bamboo Lab, something like that.
Printing.
Oh,
I've been
that's
chatting
cool.
with him about 3D printing a lot lately. We geek out in the chat for sure. It's
Bamboo Labs.
we just like, bro, here's what I printed. Here's what I printed. Did you print this? Yeah, I printed that. Like, it's pretty fun, guys. I'm not going to lie.
So who are you most anxious to hear? Are we all on the same page as Isaac Robinson? That's the one. Like, just at this point, I mean, there's still more things that could happen.
Because of the marketing and the way it's all gone down. Yeah, that is why I'm most interested. But frankly, I don't
I'm
feel
getting
like
tired
a
of
deal.
waiting.
Yeah, and I don't feel like a deal is going to be that big that it's like.
No, in fact, look, this is very personal to me. So I'm not even saying this is the right marketing strategy. I'm literally speaking for myself. I am just about at the point where, like, if they take too long, like, I'm kind of over it. Like, it's like you actually have to strike at, like, the peak. Like, even all the extra trolling and all that, which I get a kick out of. I'm just like, I'm kind of like done.
Imagine, but this is again his point. Imagine they went like a solid year of just being like, I don't know. Like, it would just be funny at that point.
Even if they go 3 more weeks, for me, it totally erodes my excitement. It literally takes it away. So, I mean, if you're in marketing, you have to think about how to strike when it's right. You wait too long, you kind of things settle. You go too early.
I have a feeling, though, this is out of his control.
Oh, yeah, it may be. But I'm just saying, like, come on. And again, I'm saying this is to me. I don't even know if that's the right business decision.
He might be saying that too.
Yeah.
I have messages out to Isaac Robinson saying, hey, when you announce, we'd love to have you on. I have messages out to Big Germ. I'm trying to think who else I've reached out to recently, just so you guys know we're working on it. Ben, you have...
I mean, we reached out to Ezra, right?
Ken Climo.
So everybody knows, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ezra
So talk
is
to these
on
people.
a
It's always an
flight.
interesting time of year, right? Like, he's in New Zealand, I think.
You gotta
right?
wait.
Speaking of that, like, him and Big Germ and others are off in New Zealand on some tour.
Big Germ is?
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Germ, Robert Burridge.
Yeah. So wouldn't he be playing
When I was messaging Big
with
Germ,
the new
then
discs?
you're saying he was in New Zealand.
Well,
he's
he was
going to New
traveling.
Zealand.
Yeah, like, I don't know the exact date.
Okay, he's like, oh, sorry, we were chatting a bit. Then
Wait, maybe he might be playing with his new disc, or he's just gonna have fun and like just do open bag for a month. That'd be pretty cool.
Who knows? I mean, like, what if he doesn't just go to a primary manufacturer where he's obligated to only throw a particular bag? Like that, an open bag wouldn't be far fetched for me for Big Germ. Like,
No, but I'm saying like his favorite discs from like from all over, like when he was a prodigy. And I'm not saying like open bag where he has to bag a certain amount of whatever open bag he has, like you were saying, Matt, Thought Space, but like just his like just have fun again, his favorite old molds and stuff like that.
Yeah,
we'll see. I'm gonna just give you my feeling on it, and it could also just be I'm bad with phrases tonight. A thermometer, a pulse on where I'm at with disc golf. But to your point, Josh, you kind of said something that I was like, I'm kind of in that ballpark a little bit. I'm not as excited this year, and maybe it's because I'm not in the know, and I haven't reached out to be like, hey, tell me where, like, because I wanted to know bad. But that's part of it too. Why do I not care so much this year versus others? Because frankly, when Simon was going somewhere, when Eagle was going somewhere, when Paul was going somewhere, when Chris Dickerson was going, like, those interested me. Even when Ganon was going, like, I was into this. I'm like, this is really interesting. This year, not feeling it as much. And you can be like, it's almost like disc golfers rallied around to be like, we have to make this as exciting as possible. And so who are the big movers this year? Okay, these are our pool of people, 6 people. We'll raise this one to the top. This is our most interested one. And while it may be the most interesting one, I'm still not as excited as I've been in years past. That's all. Yeah. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, like I'm excited, but I'm just saying, like, I want to be clear to everybody. They're not obligated to me in any form or fashion. Like, literally, they could just dismiss me and I would be fine with that. But speaking for me, and maybe I'm not the only one, that's why I'm saying they don't owe it to me on January 6th or 5th or 7th. But I selfishly am raising my hand and saying, please just tell me already. And not even because I want to talk about in the disc golf media. I'm just like, I think part of it, literally, as ironic as it is, part of it is actually so much conjecture online with their engagement in the trolling kind of drags it out. Because if they were silent, then I would just be like, it's just the internet world is craving, right? And it's coming. Yeah. But instead, it's like they know, and maybe they don't all know, but like generally speaking, they know and they just keep prodding. And by the way, I think the prodding's hilarious, but my point is the longer it goes, I'm kind of like, all right, yep, I've seen enough. Like, I just want to know. And unless the deal blows me away, I'm kind of be like, okay, cool. That fills out my little chart. Like, that's going to be my response now. Not like, oh, wow, I didn't see that coming. Because you just made me think about every single option. And so I'm like, all right, cool, bring it.
That's what I'm kind of saying is I've thought of every option. It's going to be like, oh, cool, that was the one. Next year, and we always say this stuff, and Josh is our archivist, so I hope he starts typing. Next year, before the off season, we should play a game. And I've seen sports talk radio do this stuff, like, guess where players are going to go and that kind of thing. But literally be like, just a shot in the dark. Who do you think's leaving and who do you think's going? Like, where are they going? And you just play a game. You'd be like, I think this person's leaving. You get a point for if they do leave. And then if you guess where they go, like, this is all pre-off season, like right there. Just to see what happens. It might make the off season a little more fun because we could kind of watch it closer to see if, we get points or something. But yeah, just thinking forward. So we don't have to just do as much like, where are people going? Make something fun out of it. Yep. What are we missing? I feel like there was something else in disc golf.
I think we've covered a lot. So the PDGA did announce player of the year. We we already mentioned that. No big surprises there. Sponsorships, House of Discs. Any other comments on that? I mean, it's like, Ganon basically like, I'm not worried. Matt, you texted somebody and you're kind of inferring there's nothing to worry. And I'm going to put a caveat on that and say there's probably things to worry about from running a business in a tough environment. Like that thing I think is probably true. But to the level of some of the hype videos and comment threads we're seeing out there, I just don't know if that's true. Yeah, there's always other disc golf drama, but for the most part,
I don't want to promise it. Again, I'm kind of speaking a little bit sideways here because I have to navigate that. So while I don't know like where people are going. Like I can reach out and talk to people who do know things. And that's what I'm trying to tell you is what you said is accurate. That was my response. But then I can also tell you without full confidence, so I'm not committing to this, that we might actually have information on that discussion of House of Disc next week.
All right.
I'm not saying anything beyond that. Besides, we might. So that would be. But here's the thing. I don't even think that would be a big deal. I think it would just be kind of nice to be able to have that information to tell people who are maybe exaggerating a bit that this is actually the reality. But who knows? We'll see.
Yeah. So Zach in the chat is like, talk about Drew Gibson's video on House of Discs, which basically is him taking the Reddit thread and just adding his own opinions on each question, which is perfectly fine on Drew's channel.
He gets a lot of people to click there because of what he posts, and that's
right. But I'm just
not a bad business plan.
No, and it's not even a bad video. I'm just previewing for everybody. Like he's just commenting on the comments on there. And obviously Drew does have a perspective because of his role in the sport and industry. But somebody said, talk about how he's still salty about Silas's, song of the summer. And you kind of do see that Drew's kind of like, oh, I'm sorry for you. If you're a company who has to be able to do that, you must be really hurting. So it's kind of funny. Like, it's like, yeah, so not really an unbiased perspective, coming out of Drew either, but.
Well, and neither for those who aren't familiar with the employee who is no longer employed.
Yeah, that's not an unbiased perspective either.
Yeah, and you got to take it all, with a grain of salt, or just for what it's worth. But
yeah,
interesting.
Lots of interesting stuff. I mean, this is what happens in the off season, and every off season is unique. Some years it's been all about the big contract, the big names. This year it's a lot about the companies and players navigating this. It's interesting to hear Ganon talk about he has opinions on what the Pro Tour should do. How about not charging for tickets? Interesting perspective. I always wonder when people compare to Europe. I think it's a valid part of the comparison, but there's a lot of confounding factors in that comparison. You can't literally just say, well, Europe doesn't charge for tickets and they get 1,000 people. Therefore, if we don't charge for tickets, we'll get 1,000 people. Like, the tour dynamics are different there. We wreck the size of the countries and the focus of the sports. The media coverage has been different. And I'm not dismissing it. Like, maybe that's one of the factors. I'm just saying, like, you can't only compare that, right? If you want, you have to compare everything.
Well, that's something I wanted to ask him. I was like, which I never got the chance to, was like, what would be your plan to recoup revenue? Because yes, you'll get more people, but
Ben knows about this.
Yeah,
Ben, let everybody free expo. Yeah, free expo.
You'll get a lot more people.
I'm sure there are, but Ben, there are business models. I wouldn't be able to do
an expo. That's what I'm saying. Right. So that's where if I let everyone in for free, I literally would be losing tens of thousands of dollars for no reason. Could
you, in theory? So I'm saying theory, and we're not challenging your business model. I think this is the question, is like, you could probably charge all your vendors, and I'm being rhetorical. I'm not saying in reality. You could charge them 2 or 3 times as much to recoup that, and they're going to be willing to if you've got 10,000 people showing up.
Well, yeah,
I'm just saying that's the theory.
That's the theory. Yeah, but I don't know.
I'm not saying I get the challenge, Ben, is disc golf may not be at that stage, and that's kind of what I'm.
But what I'm saying is, like, what I would have been curious what Ganon's solution was to recoup the revenue, because what I'm saying is that DGN makes it off of. I mean, DGPT makes money off DGN and tickets, and I have no idea where else they'd make money. To be honest,
a little bit of merch sales.
Yeah, that's it. So, I understand what he's saying, but like, I think we just need to give the Disc Golf Pro Tour a little grace. The fact that this is a startup sport, and the fact that they've done already a ton of like amazing, impressive things for such a startup sport. Like, yeah, there's going to be bumps in the road. We're still so new and early that it's crazy that people don't see sometimes step back and think of like, oh wow, it's crazy how monumental the Pro Tour has made disc golf. Instead, it's kind of like, oh, like but I guess that's human nature. But I think, we just gotta, they're doing they're doing their best with not a lot of revenue when it comes to a sport. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's tough. They're not golf where they can just give out $100 million purses because they're making $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? It's I think it's just the growing pains. And I think the sooner people start to realize and kind of take it in and realize, the Pro Tour doing their best. Jeff Spring is an incredible guy, one of the best people. And it's not like he's like, intentionally like, oh, I'm gonna sabotage the Pro Tour. And another thing people don't realize, things just pop up out of left field that you don't think of. Like, so I don't know. I think the Pro Tour's doing a good job. Do I think they have room to improve? Yes, but for where they've been and where they're at and kind of their infrastructure now, I'm not expecting an ESPN-esque type, or NBA-esque type thing.
Yeah. No. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, there's going to be lots of decisions that keep being made because in a challenging market, you're forced with making hard decisions. And let's just hope that these people make the best decisions ongoing for the sake of the sport we love. I mean, there'll probably be some wrong mistakes and decisions made as well. And I'm sure we'll have our comments on it, right? We'll have our opinions, but let's hope we weather the storm, if that's the right comparison, especially those of you out there in snowy storm country. But I mean, we kick off the tour next month. I mean, I'm rounding that aggressively, really, right? It's all the way at the very end of February. But got a few more.
And so is Disc
off-season
South.
Hey, by the way, oh, that's
Sheesh.
true. And is there an All-Star event this year? I haven't heard a peep about it. Any of you know? They named All-Star card players.
They were
but-
They're
picked,
voted.
I
It's
know,
not
but I
as
haven't.
esteemed as it where they fly them out to Arizona. Now it's just they're
Yeah, but
doing
last
it
year was even
at
at Florida.
Olympus.
Are they doing it?
Probably.
I mean, Nick's
I'd
not here to
assume so.
confirm, but I haven't seen.
Oh
a peep
wait, was
about
it at Olympus?
Well, last year it was.
Okay.
Oh, anyway, well, we can break the news if and when we hear it.
It
That's
was
kind of
last
my
year.
point. It's interesting. It's January 6th, and I don't think I've heard a thing. We could ask Ganon that because you would think he'd be planning to be there.
Okay. Well, we're gonna still wait, and I'm sure we're gonna hear some announcements. I honestly think we're gonna hear them all this week.
Yeah.
What's this? Yeah, I think we're
Ganon
gonna.
said by the end of the month. So
Yeah. And then he said, "Sorry, Isaac."
Yeah.
I'm thinking we're gonna hear them. Maybe I'm wrong, but I want to say before our next show, there might be one that holds out through January. If I remember right, Simon was the middle of January, or something like that. So it's all depends on disc production, if the companies are ready, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But
that's
let's
true.
see.
Yeah, you want to be ready. Yeah.
But let's see. We'll find out. We're going to try to get some interviews lined up for sure. It doesn't always work out, but we're going to try. And that brings us to the end of the show. The whole show without Nick, I just texted him. I said, Nick, in Florida, at least it's not sub-freezing temps there, because he said he didn't have electricity. And then he said, he just responded right now, so I'll put it live without even proofreading it first. He says, it's not, but for Floridians, it's freezing. What's the temperature in Florida? Look that up.
Someone's in Brookfield. Oh,
What is
someone's in Tampa right now. I can look it up right now.
In what's it called? Brookfield?
58 degrees.
Brooksville.
58 is freezing to them. So he says it's freezing.
Jeez.
Everyone
I
here
wish
in
it
the
was
crew is
freezing
wearing
like
the
that up
warmest
here.
clothes they can find. It looks like they're. Oh, and then he says his electricity's getting fixed.
Hey, they are getting some overnights in the mid 30s. So,
Oh, brutal. All right. Well, we made it to the end of the show. Nick would say, tell someone you love them. Ben, your expo's 2 weeks and counting, or?
Yes, Disc East.
Less than
And
2
in
weeks.
Texas, Disc South,
more
March
than
1st and 2nd. So in Dallas.
Cool.
So hope to
man,
see you all there at
we
both
ha-
of them.
we had a hopping live chat tonight.
Yeah, 2025. It's a new year, baby.
Huge spectrum of people. We appreciate each and every one of you.
That was
Also,
sick.
Back up on the screen for a minute here as we close out. TitanDiscGolf.com, presenting sponsor of Staggered Stance. That's pretty cool. Exclusive stamps on discs there, competitive pricing. TitanDiscGolf.com. I've got the hat on. Hopefully, we get to see this hat out on tour. Whether I'm wearing it, Schlebach, Ben, Josh, Nick. Check them out. Remember, we're doing a giveaway. Every purchase you do at TitanDiscGolf.com goes into a raffle. We'll fill you more on that next week. Till next time, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you out there. Peace out.